Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to the long range weather forecast discussion. And this is for the period April 3rd to the 17th. We gotta wait for this to start. April 3rd to the 17th. We gotta wait for this to. Okay, we're gonna first look at the period um, for April 3rd to the 7th. And this is what we have here. Generally, we have here is a trough in the east, ridging in the west. And the models are in good agreement with this. You can look at the previous, all the models, they're in good agreement with this. Now, we have an upper low to move across the north central states. Okay, we'll go to the surface. Here's our low here. And this will push a strong weather system into the central and eastern states on Friday. So we're on Thursday and Friday, and through the weekend, deep Gulf moisture will be drawn northward ahead of the system, causing widespread heavy rain and thunderstorms. We'll back it up a little bit. This is where we're expecting heavy rain and thunderstorms, and then on the cold side of the storm, we're expecting snow. So this will be a late winter storm. So we'll look at the snowfall accumulations for this. We'll look at the various maps. Let's see, do I have it here? We'll go into six. In addition to the heavy rain. So let me just get this into play, and we'll do 6-hour intervals. And we'll look at the rainfall amounts. Now, here is where we're expecting the rainfall into Missouri. And then we go forward in time, then the heavy rain, it kind of slackens, but it'll be a slow-moving system across the region. Cooler temperatures will filter in behind the system, and the west will experience a warming trend under a high-pressure system. We're going to look at the period for April 8th to the 12th. We'll go to the 8th, go back to the upper levels, the 8th to the 12th. And what we have is, for the most part, expecting a trough in the west and a ridge in the east. The ensembles are indicating a flatter flow. You can see right here, still a little bit of a trough here in the west. So for this forecast period, I am calling for. Let's see, get to the map. Calling for above normal temperatures for much of the country, and anomalies could be above 8 degrees above normal here in the parts of the southwest. And for precipitation, calling for below normal precipitation here, and for much of this area here, and the probability of occurrence is 35%. We're going to look at the period for April 13th to the 17th. And what we have here is generally a zonal flow, but the GFS is a little bit of a broad troughing here across the country. We look at the European split flow here, and here's the southern stream, here's the northern stream. A little bit of troughing still here across the northeast. And the ensembles, of course, have a flatter flow. So for this forecast period, I'm calling for above normal temperatures for much of this area here, and anomalies could be near or more than 8 degrees above normal in this area. And for precipitation, calling for below normal precipitation here. Probability of occurrence is 35%. Above normal precipitation here is 35%. Okay, so currently we have severe weather going on right now. And we're going to take a look at our radar. And we have a tornado warning here in Ohio. We'll go and we'll look at that. All right, so here is our severe, well, we have a tornado warning here. We'll look at that. And this is in effect for until 7:45 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. A little more time now for central Defiance and northeastern Paulding counties, and other areas be affected would be Cecile, Arthur, Bonesburg, and the Bend. So seek shelter here. Then we have another one here in Ohio, and we'll look at that. This is it. This is in effect until 7:25 p.m. It's probably already over. Severe thunderstorms produced a tornado was located, excuse me, 8 miles southeast of Payne or 10 miles north of Van Wert, moving east at 50 miles an hour. All right. So here's the storm. Here's the area that we're looking at. All right. Here's where we have, and then we have a severe thunderstorm warning here in effect, and this is for till 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for northern Putnam County, southeastern Defiance County, northeastern Paulding County, and also for southeastern Henry County. Okay, just got severe warning that came over the line here. Okay, so but it's not for the local area. All right. So the reason we're going to look here, we're going to look at the amount of energy with this storm. We're going to look at first. We're going to look at possibility of hail. So we have a probability here, and here. It's a low probability. Then we'll go to 2 p.m. Next thing we're going to look at here is the amount of energy in the atmosphere. So right now we have a lot of energy here, and this is where our action is going on right now, because we have other severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for Pennsylvania, for Lawrence, and we'll look at that. Okay, so we have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings here. We have this is in effect until 7:33. Oh no, this is at 7:33. Located along a line from Russell to near Ground Valley, moving east at 55 miles an hour. This is in effect until 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and there'll be a possibility of 7-mile-an-hour wind gusts. And other areas included will be to Starbrick and Clarendon. Then we have others further to the north here in New York State. We have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect till 7:45 p.m. for eastern Chappaqua County, and at 7:34 p.m. severe thunderstorm was located along a line extending from near Evangola State Park near Jamestown West, moving east at 60 miles an hour. Locations included would be Jamestown, Dunkirk, Fredona, Silver Creek, Falconer, Jamestown West, Frewsburg, Sheridan, and Jerry. All right. And then we have another one here in Ohio. This is in effect until 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for Eric County, West Central Grange County, and Chickasaw County, northeastern Medina County, southwestern Lake County, and northwestern Summer County, and Lawrence County. All right, and areas being affected would be Cleveland, Lorraine, Elrya, Willowbrook, Vermilion, Western Vermilion, Chardon, Parma, Lake, Clyde, Cleveland Heights, Strongville, Brunswick, Westlake, North Royalton, North Ridgeville, Ceylon, Avon Lake, Willoughby, and Twinsburg. If you're caught outside these, take shelter. Okay. So next thing we're going to look at here is we're looking at the totals. I'd like to look at this and find out where the severe weather will be. So, all right. Go back here. Right now, we have a lot of energy here, just where we have the severe thunderstorms. And let me see. Okay, yeah. So we'll be having thunderstorms going on there. All right. Okay. Next thing I want to take a look at. There's talk about El Nino developing later in the year, and we'll take a look at that. Excuse me. All right. Okay, let's go here. Sometime today. Okay, what we're looking at here is sea surface temperature anomalies for the week. All right, we still have a weak El Nino. El Nino. Well, not La Nina is developing. All right, and we have this shows a temperature thing, temperature anomalies, and we'll take a look at the depth in the Pacific. We see cooler waters developing here as El Nino decreases, and what we have is this equatorial temperatures, and we have cooler waters starting to develop, moving to the north, and we'll keep an eye on that. Now, we're going to go over the effects, what this can have on us. All right, I put this together. Major climate forecasts have issued a Nino watch for late 2026, with some experts identifying early signals that could lead to a strong or even super event. Current forecasts and probabilities. According to the latest ENSO diagnosis discussion from NOAA, and the Climate Center has a 62 cents of El Nino developing between June and August 2026. That's in the next month or two. While official forecasts remain cautious, specific probabilities for a major event are as follow. A super El Nino, there's currently a 1 in 3 chance of reaching a strong status in Nino's 3 and 4 regions. Okay? Now, for late in the year, October, November, December, a super El Nino are not an official NOAA terms. Some independent models, including those from the European Center of Medium Range Forecast, the ECMWF, suggest a 15 to 22% chance of a super event. That's anomalies of 2 degrees or greater Celsius or more above average. Okay, global impacts. If a strong or super El Nino develops, forecasters anticipate significant global disruptions. Global temperatures. Scientists at Berkeley Earth predict it could make 2027 the warmest year on record, surpassing the current record set in 2024. That's very interesting with the temperatures there. Hurricane season. A strong El Nino typically acts as a neutral field for the Atlantic, increasing wind shear and suppressing hurricane formation. Conversely, it often leads to more active hurricane seasons in the Pacific. I explained that last year when one basin is active, the other one is not. Now, this creates a lot of wind shear. What you get in thunderstorms, if you have strong winds, it blows off the tops of the thunderstorms and it can intensify. Okay, here's the effects for regional areas. The southern U.S. are likely to experience wetter than average conditions and increased risk of severe winter weather. The northern U.S. and Midwest often sees milder winter temperatures and drier conditions. And then we'll have globally, this will be an increased risk of severe drought in Australia, Southeast Asia, northern Brazil, alongside heavy rain in East Africa and west coast of South America. All right, then predictability note. I tried to say that. Forecasters caution that predictions made during a spring, particularly March, April, May, which we are now, are typically less reliable. The next major update will be scheduled for April 9th. I'll take a look at it then and see what's going on. Okay, so then the summer of 2026 forecast Super El Nino is now starting to form. The summer 2026 forecast Super El Nino is now starting to form impact on warm season weather events. El Nino forecast, every itchy nose. What NOAA's latest update means for El Nino forecast. In the Thursday update, National Weather Service Climate Prediction Center said that a shift uh, will form for a Pacific area. For the greater New York City tri-state metropolitan area, strong Super El Nino typically shifts winter weather patterns towards warmer overall temperatures and an increase in intense coastal storms or nor'easters. While no El Nino events are exactly alike, historical data and climate modeling give us a strong idea of what can expect in a severe event. All right, pattern for El Nino pushes the Pacific water south and flattens the polar jet stream. This effectively keeps the Arctic air locked up in Canada, and this will be unlike last winter, fewer prolonged bitter cold snaps. Winters during strong El Nino events in the Northeast lean heavily towards above normal temperatures. Keep a note, even though we have above normal temperatures, it takes one cold spell and we can get a lot of snow, and then we can still get snow. All right, precipitation and weather and winter stormier pattern. Energizes southern jet, activates a conveyor belt for storms traveling across the Gulf of Mexico up the East Coast. And what to expect El Nino winters are highly correlated with above normal precipitation for the mid-Atlantic. You can expect higher frequency of heavy rain events and powerful coastal storms. The big question, snowfall. All right, and then I did it for my local area here. Snow incarnate during the Super El Nino is highly unpredictable and depends entirely on the storm track of individual coastal storms. We already know that. El Nino creates a boom or a bust scenario for the area. A bust scenario more likely because the atmosphere is warmer on average. Many of those heavy coastal storms lack the cold air needed for snow. This often results in heavy washing rains and messy winter mixes, sleet, freezing rain instead of pure snow. The boom scenario, if a strong nor'easter tracks up the coast, happens to tap into a rare supply of cold air from the north exactly at the right moment, so that's what I was just saying, it can result in a massive classic blizzard. Some of the biggest single snowstorms in the tri-state area history have occurred during El Nino winters, such as a blizzard in January 2016. All right, let me see what else. Okay, here's the seasonal forecast for precipitation. Here is National Weather Service forecast of water temperatures. This is what El Nino is, the pattern that we had, and okay, the Gulf Coast in Florida. This is for a typical. Oh, we're not going to do that for El Nino. So we're going to keep an eye on that. I already issued a statement last week on La Nina developing. So we'll go back to our severe weather, and we'll see what's going on there. We still have we have a tornado warning in Delaware County and New York. We'll go to that. Is it going to shift? Okay, it's right here. Okay, we have a tornado warning here in effect. Try to look at it here. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, I'm sorry, it's not going to come back. All right, so that is it for today. That is the long range weather forecast discussion for April 3rd to the 17th. Thank you for stopping by and have a good